Well. Yo, we got some music up in that piece. Yo, first of all, I just want to say bless up to Epidemic Sound with the freshness. Freshness. That's why I got that beat, Jermaine and my coach. That's why feeling nice. So we're gonna hook up our monthly calls like that. That's what's up. Bless up to everyone. Thanks for tuning in. This is Paul, Jermaine, and Coach from the Brotherhood of Kings. Those checking in from the Brotherhood of Kings YouTube, welcome back. Hit the like, hit subscribe, and also if you're watching the replay, type in hashtag replay. And also we got Brotherhood of Kings on Facebook, and we got my personal page on Facebook. Bless up and hello. Listen, for those on my personal Facebook, these are the guys I'm always talking about for the Brotherhood of Kings. Who you with? My guy, Coach Michael Taylor and Jermaine. Yo, listen, let's all introduce ourselves because there's gonna be some people that don't know who any of us are. So, my name is Paul. I'm one of the founders of the Brotherhood of Kings, and man, I'm all about men's health and wellness development. I'm one of the guys that hooks up the facilitation, communication, and newsletters, man. And we go out, we do some fresh workshops. And we are excited to be here and share some of this information about influence with you today. So if you're looking at like, hey, man, you want to be influence others and influence yourself, check out this episode. And we're going to go to Coach, then Jermaine. Introduce yourself to people.
All right. Coach Michael Taylor, or shall I say Michael Happy Ass Taylor. That's my name. And I'm sticking with it. I've been speaking and writing about the changing roles of manhood and masculinity for more than 25 years. And for the most part, I was a one man on a mission. And then I ran across these two brothers and we hooked up. And now we are impacting the world. We're doing big, big things. So I'm just an ordinary guy that made a commitment to living an extraordinary life who is absolutely passionate about life. And that's Coach Michael Taylor in a nutshell.
Bless up, Coach.
I say, bro, Jermaine, Big Dog Johnson.
Big dog.
Yeah, bro. Hailing in from ATL, Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Queens, St. Albans, New York. Man, great to be here, bro. Who am I? Oh man, I'm many, many things. And amongst those things, I'm a facilitator, I'm a trainer. I do a lot of men's work, bro. And what that means for me is helping men to create a mission and follow that mission, right? So that's a lot of steps that are involved in doing that. And I'm one of the men who help guide the way, bro. So especially for men in my community, you know, healing is a really big part. And showing up for the women and the children and the community and everything else that is impacted by me, that's what I'm all about, bro. So I'm in with that.
Bless up. These are the men. So I tune in, and guys, I told you I was going to put my personal Facebook page on here for the live stream, and I posted the other day about what you and I did down in Maryland, and also I acknowledge what Jermaine did with MKP Mankind Project, and being a part of the leadership training over the weekend, and we were talking about influence. Like we started this Brotherhood of Kings movement and collective almost 2 years ago, almost 3 years, no? Or two? Is it still two? It's still a little over two.
It's over two.
It's over two. So, man, shoot, Coach Taylor and I just met each other for the first time in person last Saturday, and I have yet to meet Jermaine in person. I've been chilling with these brothers for like 7-8 years.
Yeah.
So listen, this is really important what we're doing, and we're excited about it, and we're excited about this conversation about influence. And guys, I want to give you a heads up on how this even came out. Right? There's this woman, Sensei Victoria Whitfield. Bless up, Sensei. She was having a conversation about about sex energy from Napoleon. Like Napoleon Hill talks about transmuting sex energy, and she was talking about the ways that we influence others. So I heard it, and I wanted to get your feedback on this, guys, because I was like, yo, when I heard it, I was like, yo, this is dope, man. This is like, I wanted to hear your feedback on this. So we're gonna go over the 5 ways we influence others. So buckle up your chin straps, and we're about to go in. All right. If you have any comments, please put it in the comments box. You know the drill. And like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. All right. So listen, guys, let's go over the. Well, actually, before we go there, guys, when you hear the word influence, what comes to mind?
Influence to me is how I show up and impact others. So when I show up as my authentic self, I think I automatically impact people, because too many times, we hide behind these masks and we pretend to be things that we aren't. And there's a lot of, shall I call, inauthentic interactions. But when a person shows up in their authenticity, there's an energy that I personally feel. I just get it when somebody's just really being authentic and not fake. And so for me, that's the beginning of influence, just showing up in my authentic self.
Thank you. Oh no, that's what's up. Thank you for that, man. How I show up and impact others. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Coach, Jermaine, what about for you? What comes to mind when you hear the word influence?
Normally I just go right to the go-to, but since you're posing it in this way, I'm taking it a little bit deeper, bro, and I'm coming up with more questions than answers. So I'll just tell you how the brain, kind of moves it around.
Bring all that, bruv.
Yeah. So for me, influence begins with either an intention, right? Or an unconscious intention, right? So, when I get up in the morning and I get dressed, the things that I put on make a statement for me, right? I'm aware that when you see me in this, you will have a certain impression of me, right? It may influence the way that you either trust me, like me, hate me, whatever it might be, right? So I'm fully aware of that. And so if I look at that question from an intention perspective, how do I influence the world by my actions or my choices? Like if I stuck right there and I followed that down the rabbit hole, it would be, I want to make money, right? So I want to influence people to buy my product or to support my cause or whatever that might be. And that might be everything from presenting a product that I'm hoping people like, right? So I might influence them in that way. Or I might use my words, right? Just talk a lot about this and that and this and that, hopefully to get what I want. So for me, just to answer that question, and we can kind of travel around here a little bit, it starts with either an intention or an unconscious intention as to how I want to influence others and how others influence me.
Yo, help me out. This is okay. This is good. We're about to go off the trail for a little bit. This is what I like. So tell me the distinction between the two intentions, because you mentioned they have. It's like basically what I'm hearing is like there's a conscious intention and then there's an unconscious intention. Can you share for me or help me, like, because I'm digging this? Can you help me like fill in like what those would be, like examples of each of those?
Oh yeah. So okay, so something with intention, right, would be a good example would be I want you to participate with me in a particular way, right? Let's take dating, for example, right? I meet a girl, I want to talk to her, I want her to like me. So I'm doing everything intentionally to influence her, right? That might be buying dinner. That might be dressing in my Versace, outfit. That might be,
fresh.
pulling up in my Maybach or something, whatever that looks like, right?
Yeah, buddy. Nice.
You know what I mean? So that is intentionally trying to influence somebody, right?
Right.
When I unconsciously, influence people, it's when my behavior or my choices are impacting you in a particular way that I'm not really aware of, right? So I didn't really set out to do it, but there's something about what I'm doing that's influencing you to show up a particular way or to not show up a particular way in a particular experience, right? So a good example of that might be, I just bought a new car, right? And I'm really happy that I bought this new car.
Yeah.
So I'm running around and I'm just in my joy, bro. Hey, I'm showing my uncles and my aunts, and hey, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And then what happens unconsciously is that I may be influencing them to want to go buy a car, right? I didn't intend to do that. I'm just in my joy. I'm sharing myself. And, so that would be something unconsciously, or an unintended impact would be, damn, you know what? I'm 10 years old. I need to get a car too, right? So you wasn't thinking about that prior to me saying it, but it's something in me showing up in that way that influenced you to want to go do something else, make a different choice, or put something on your radar that wasn't currently on your radar. So those are two pretty decent examples.
Thank you very much.
And that influence could actually be a negative influence, meaning someone gets jealous because of what you have, and the influence is envy, right? Envious of what.
And I'm going to challenge you on this, Coach, and push back a little bit, right?
Okay.
Because for me, influence can't really be negative or positive. Right?
Okay.
It's all in the way that I'm experiencing that, right? Okay. I can experience it as negative or positive, but it really is just what it is, right? It's my own experiences and opinions and beliefs that create the negativity or the positivity, because within itself, it just is, right? There is no energy to it that's not put to it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So really, so what I'm hearing is every action has a reaction. Some of it is like, okay, I'm gonna consciously do something so I can get this reaction, or I do something and it gets a reaction.
Yep.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, and their reaction on the other side is out of my control.
This is the truth.
That has nothing to do with me.
Right.
I showed up, but yet that influence that they experience is on them.
Correct.
Yeah, this is so I want us to, as we're going over the 5, I want to challenge us to look at the conscious and unconscious of each of these, because I think this is going to be fascinating, because I know the 5 you watching have yet to. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to hook up these nifty banners that they have here on StreamYard, man. StreamYard, you fresh for this. So listen, drum roll. Do we have a drum roll? Well, I'll get there. But anyway, the first one that we're going to work with, as far as the first way that we influence others, all right, or one of the ways we influence others is with a handshake. So let's break down a handshake. When you're going in for the handshake, you want to meet at the web. Okay, so when you're meeting at the web, it ensures that you get a good grip on the hand. Okay, when you fail to get a good grip on the hand, you get this kind of handshake where somebody squeezes your knuckles up, right? And you feel powerless. They can drag you all over the place. And if you don't go in quick enough, sometimes people may have the "how do you do" type of handshake where it's no entrance in it. Or sometimes people will squeeze the out of your hand like a vice grip. When we go in for the handshake, let's talk about what are some conscious ways that this can influence others, guys? What comes to mind first?
Well, for me, and this is just my judgment, when somebody gives me that wet dish rag handshake, where they just kind of like lay their hand, it's like, okay, so this person is not really interested in me. So it's almost like a turnoff for me. It's like if this person doesn't engage me with a firm handshake, I'm already starting to question, okay, don't know if I like this guy or not, just by the handshake.
Bruh, you just opened up something completely new for me as far as like that type of handshake. There could be, and this could be unconscious, like this cat wants nothing to do with me right now. Or this, not that you said that, but like that's what I'm hearing. Like, oh, jump. A person could get that, like they're not even gonna put the effort into a handshake. Oh man, why am I here? That's freaking wild. Thank you for that, Coach. Bless up. Jermaine, what are you thinking, bro?
Yeah, so I'm about to throw a grenade in the room, bro. Cause something just came up for me. I don't know if I'm off the rails or if this conversation is, but the minute you said handshake, I went straight to COVID and pre-pandemic versus post-pandemic.
Oh, talk to me.
Bro, I haven't shaken somebody's hand. I don't even know that had to be 2019 or something.
Wow.
I purposely fist bump everybody, right? Except for like people who are really close to me. And we don't shake hands. We do the smack hug. You know that what the brother So I never that old school, like how gentlemen used to do.
Right.
That's not even in my vocab, bro. Like I don't even know where to go with that. And I remember handshakes from when I was a kid. Like, you know, my dad used to say, when you shake somebody's hand, you make sure it's a firm handshake because it says something about you and you a man and all of this, right? Yeah. So I get all of those different nuances, like what those messages I might receive based on how willing you are to give me a handshake, how you offer it, how you open it, how you soft versus tension. But I get all of that, bro. And for me, it's kind of old school news in 2024 for me is kind of not a thing. So what I will say is when somebody approaches me and we're greeting each other and it's appropriate for some type of greeting, fist bump, handshake, whatever, my professional thing is the fist bump. I do that with pros, professional people I really don't know. It's either the fist bump or it's a, hey man, how you doing? All right.
It's my hand's staying over here.
Yeah. And then everybody else is, the smack hug, the pound hug, right? So I don't know that I could read much into it because it's kind of inappropriate in my experience right now, the whole handshake thing. I don't even know what I would do if I might just put the fist out and make them just, you know what I mean? Because I'm not doing
like this. They're like, how you doing, Jermaine? How you doing? Or shake your fist. Yo, listen, I want to go. Let's pause here because this is important, man. You bring up this grenade that you're doing here brings up something that's extremely relevant in our times since the pandemic, right? So let's bring it to the new school and talk about like what are the ways where if someone's resistant or someone prefers to just like, yo, hey, here you go. What are the ways we can still be of influence or still consciously have influence? Like, because what comes to mind for me is it's still like, I'm still looking you in the eyes. Right? I'm still like, hey, how you doing? I'm not just off like, so I want this person to know like, yo, I'm connected to what you're saying. And also it could be like, yo, man, hi, yeah. And it's for me, it's like if I do that, because I know some cats that do that, I'm like, okay, boom, and then I give the heart. Right? So like, what are some ways, like, man, this is great. Thank you for bringing this up because I think this is relevant. What are the ways, like, so, Coach, like, what would be some ways that you think if a person other than the handshake and like creating intention with like a fist bump or like?
Well, but see, the fist bump can be a weak dish rag fish pump too. Because I've had some people, they give you that little bump, like, they really didn't want to give you the bump, but they just gave it out, this is kind of tappy, because, and maybe it's cultural, but I know that a lot of times, and I have this really extroverted energy. That's just kind of how I show up, right? Mm-hmm. So when I give a fist bump, it's like a hard handshake. It's like, bam. I want
to let's meet the ridges, like
And I noticed that brothers get that. It's like brothers will come up to you and they'll kind of even hold the bump for just a minute, just like, just kind
of. Yo, this is true, bro.
Brothers will do that. Like, what's up, bro? Yeah. Bam, and people who don't look like me sometimes they're like, hi. Just a little fist bump, but I think a fist bump can have the same impact as a handshake. How that person comes across when they give you that bump, it's just the feeling you get. For me, it says, okay, this guy's all right, good. So I just think that it's a great way to communicate. It sets the stage for what's going to happen next. Because I can, when somebody gives me that firm, not that firm connected fist bump, I'm instantly engaged.
Right.
If you don't, not so much.
Thank you, man. Wow, that's good. That's good stuff. Hey, when people watching it on the replay, like, what do you go for, the handshake or the fist bump? Let us know. Put that in the comments. Question before we move on to the next one: what's the intention that you have with the fist bump or the handshake? Like, so I know when I'm connecting with somebody, I shake their hand, I'm like, man, what is my intention? I think it's more like welcome, or like good to meet you, like good to, like, let's go into this space, good to connect. Like, I think that's, as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, dang, I think that's it. But if you think about it, do you have an intention when you do a fist pump or handshake?
Yeah, I think, if I think about it, it's greeting, right? And what is greeting? So greeting is allowing you in my space, right? And that's just not physically, that's energetically, right? Because you could be in my space and I energetically just don't mess with you at all, right?
Yeah.
So the fist bump or the greeting, in whatever way that might look like for you, is about acknowledging that it's okay for you to be in my space. I acknowledge you in my space, and I energetically accept you here where you're at. Right? That's the message, right?
Thank you for that, brother. Thank you. Yeah, Steve, thank you. Coach, what about for you, man?
Yeah, I think it's all about connection. I know that when I get that firm handshake or that firm bump, there's a connection that's like, welcome into my space, That's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, the welcoming piece.
Yeah.
Bless up to one of the BKC facilitators supporting us on the live stream, Andrew Mans. I'm going to start after hearing his last interview, man, on WBGO, man. The Andrew Mans said he likes the fist pumps, doesn't like the sweaty palms. Bro, you know what, man? That in itself would make me fist pump for the rest of my life, because I can't stand that either, bro. It's like, oh my God, it's crazy. I even find myself like looking at the hands. Like, that's why I like to make sure I got some lotion on my hands and shit. But like, that's besides the point. Well, actually, it's the point. So listen, let's go into the next one, right? And thank you, man, for that. The next one that we got, tone of voice. Shooby dooby doo. All right. So, yo, Omar Buckner. Bless up. My man, Self-Mastery Retreat, bruv. Blessed up. And we got the heavy hitters up in the building today.
Yeah, we need to get that brother in these conversations too. Omar, if you're watching this, bro, you need to be in here.
Yes, sir. Just give me the light, and I will send the link. Give me the light. Give me the green light. All right. So,
tone of voice, bro. Tone of voice. Let me tell you, this is my go-to, bro. This is that part of me that wants to get you off me, right? This is that I don't want to have this conversation, and I really don't know which way to do it. So I'm gonna raise my voice. I'm gonna become intimidating. I'm even gonna puff up, you know. And the message that I'm sending to you is, yo, dead this, bro. Stop this. We ain't going no further, right? Mm-hmm. So that's anger 101 for me. And especially the old me, bro. The part of me that didn't know how to express what I was feeling or what I wanted, right? Or felt some shame around that or guilt or whatever might have been coming up. I would just simply go to anger, raise my voice, puff up, get out of the conversation, right? Yeah. Storm out, whatever else that is. So tone of voice is really important for influence, because when I want to influence you in an intentional way, I use the tone that's going to get closer to what my goal is, right? So I want to be, if I'm dating, I want to be smooth and seductive. If I'm trying to get a job, I want to be, direct, concise, and clear, but in a very safe kind of tone. And when I'm protecting myself, I'm in fight or flight, I want it to be boisterous, loud, and sharp, right? So all of those things with intention, with tone of voice, that begins the real conversation of influence, because that can influence a lot, bro, intended and unintended.
Yeah, bro. Yo, so man, yeah, speak on that. Can I get an amen, brother? You hit it on the head. Tone is so important, man. Coach, I want to expand on that, but Coach, like, what are your thoughts on this one, bro? As far as the way that tone of voice influences others.
Well, talking about influence, I have to go back to when I was raising my kids, when my kids were small. I didn't believe in spanking my kids. I just never did. But that tone of voice, all I had to do is hit that right tone and give them the look. No problem. No problem. My kids were well behaved, but that tone of voice laid the foundation. They knew, oh, Dad's serious. Dad's serious. When that tone changed, stop. Now, in terms of just interacting with people, that's probably my superpower. Is my tone of voice. As a speaker, when you want to engage someone, I think great speakers are just great storytellers. And what I'm really good at is pulling you in with my story, which is driven by the tone. So if I'm sharing something maybe that's a little emotional, it comes across in my voice. They feel that emotion, whatever that might be. So that tone of voice definitely influences people, especially like in an audience. If you can allow yourself to be vulnerable. Now, that's why I love the conversation around vulnerability. That too many times as men, we see that as a weakness. It's definitely not a weakness. It's a strength. Because when I can drop into that vulnerable place and speak from my heart, I influence everybody.
Yeah, man.
In a positive way.
So resonance. It's very interesting how that can work, and it goes. It taps into one of the universal principles of vibration. It's like the tone. It's like frequency. If we come in a certain way, and we're like learning more about public speaking, there's tone, there's pitch. If I want to steer or encourage or divert, it's all in my voice. It's all in my tone. So it's like, if I were like, can you get the hell out of my face? It's different if I'm like, yo, you better get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah.
So first way, people be like, I don't know what to do here. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like, I think it's important that we understand like how this influences us, because I judge a lot of people have yet to really know the mastery of the tone of voice. And, even like coming to something that's relevant, look at things like texting. If someone is in all caps, what's the message? Why are you yelling at me? There's a tone there. And also, Jermaine, I want to come back to brilliant what you said about the conscious and unconscious, because I'm also thinking about like one of the things that damages our communication in society and how we influence others is the fact that we do things through electronic messaging. So whether that's email, whether that's text, and there can be a lot of room for interpretation. Whereas if I'm on the phone with someone and I hear the same thing, I can hear tone. So now I know where they're coming from. It's a big piece, man, that a lot of people, get on it, man. Guys, any other things before we move on?
Well, we got to understand, though, that tone of voice is driven by the feeling.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
If I'm with someone that I really care about, and I say, I love you, it's a tone. But if I say, I love you, the energy is completely different. The tone shifts, but it's driven by the feeling. And as Jermaine said, the intention. The intention is to say, I love you, so that you feel that love. But if I just say, I love you, with no intention behind it, it's going to sound different. It's going to feel different.
Bruh, well, this is interesting, man, because what you just said combined the tone with the next way of influence. Let me explain. My peoples, the next way of influence is how our posture. So coming back to what Coach just did, if you all notice, and you could pause and hit the rewind after I say what I'm about to say, so you can see it real time. When Coach was like, the first way when he was like, I love you, where was his head? Down here. He wasn't even looking at you in the mirror, in the camera. When he was like, all up in here, man, was like, I love you. He was all up in the camera, man. What? So, like, check that. That's posture, right? And even when you think about when we talk to another, where we're in space with another, if I'm talking to you side like this, it's different than if I'm like this. And I think as men, is in what we do with the Brotherhood of Kings, and also I work with the MKP and other men's groups. I think it's like, men a lot of times will be like this when they talk. They could be like this, right? Then we start to open up, especially when somebody says something that resonates. It's like, what? You get me. Look at the posture, right? Guys, what's your thoughts on posture when it comes to how it influences, as far as a way to influence others?
So let me jump in. So, and this kind of ties in tone and posture, right? And it's something that when conversations around influence happen, this is very seldom mentioned, right? And that is silence, right? The void of anything and what might come up in that void, right? And the reason I want to bring that up is because we talk a lot about holding space. And a few of the men that are on this watching here,
Bless up, Brother Denver.
Yeah, if they took our facilitation training, this holding space, right? And in order for me to do that and allow you to do your work and really hold that space for you, I have to be a blank canvas for you, right? So what I'm doing is I'm intentionally holding an energy that is completely even so that you can see you in a deeper way, right? Because if I come with my own tones and my own body language and all of this stuff that goes on, I am influencing you in the work that you have to do, right? So the idea of silence and just not negative or positive, but just holding the space, that look that's neither happy nor sad, that's just even keel, no particular body language and no particular sound. And to notice what comes up for you personally when you're in that space. Because I know most people, if they're like me, the old me, I couldn't be in the silence very long, bro. My brain and my body would actually go crazy. Like, oh, I have to fill this time with noise because I can't just be in complete silence, or I can't just look a person in the eye without putting a narrative behind it, bro. And it wasn't until I started doing men's work that I understood the power of just being silent and allowing the silence to do my own inner work. So I just wanted to introduce that into the conversation too.
Brother, thank you for that, man. Listen, that's that. Wow, yeah. People fail to recognize. You're correct. How important that component is in the influence of others, man. And it's how we in that space that's created. I want to acknowledge, bless up to Michael Peoples, man, bro. We got the heavies in here today, baby. Michael, want to come back. Body language speaks volumes. That is correct. So postures, and coming back to the posture piece, and how we position ourselves to others, even what, like, if somebody's closed off, or like, our posture, if we're closed off here, if we're slumped over, like the closed arm is the closed off, the slumped over maybe lack of confidence. And Denver also added to that wisdom when he talked about body language is 75% of communication. So listen, people, like when it comes to posture and also how we influence others, the way you're even standing or positioned could be telling a story, or creating a message to you about you to another. Coach, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, I just want to follow up on what Jermaine was saying. And I can't remember who said this, but he said, all of man's problems can be traced to his inability to sit in a room quietly with himself.
Ooh-wee.
Powerful.
Yeah. Coach, hit it. Say it again for the people in the back, bro.
All of man's problems can be traced to his inability to sit in a room quietly with himself.
Yes, sir.
That's a powerful piece, because I remember before I began a practice of meditation, my mind would just race. I mean, I used to get what I call thinking headaches. I couldn't shut my mind off, just thinking one thing after another, one thing after another, one thing after. I remember writing in my journal, I wish I could just turn my mind off.
Oof.
And so it wasn't until I began, again, a practice of meditation that I learned that I had complete control over those thoughts. And through awareness, I realized that, number one, I am the one putting those thoughts in my own head. So if I'm the one putting them in my head, I'm the one that I can one to change them. And so meditation, again, is not the practice of making your mind go blank. It's the practice of simply being aware of what's going through your mind.
Brother.
And the more you pay attention to that, the more you can change it if needed.
Coach, man, you on some segue goodness right now, bro. Because you know what you just said is the fourth way that we influence others. How we think. How we think. I listen, when I first read this and heard this, I'm like, bless up Sensei Victoria for reawakening me to this. I fail to remember how much this can impact others and how much this can influence others. By being still, allowing your thoughts to run, then disciplining your thoughts can create and manifest things which can have an impact and influence on others. And I'm curious for you, man, when you see this, how you think. What are the ways that you think a person gets to think to truly make an impact or influence on others, if there is such a thing?
I'll jump in on that one. So, gosh, 20 years ago, I believe, I started studying Buddhism. And one of the practices of Buddhism is non-judgment. And so what the practice is to not judge, but just to witness.
Oof, yep.
Huge distinction between the two, judgment and witnessing. And one of the exercises was, once again, silence. So I went 5 days without speaking a word. That means, and that is going to the stores, going to get food, and never said a word. I'd go to a restaurant and I'd go and I'd point, right, to whatever I wanted to do the transaction. I'd go to different places and I couldn't talk. But that was so powerful.
Bro, what was the biggest takeaway from that? Because I'm just imagining you like a big smile on your face, like. You know, like, bro, what was that like for you, man? I gotta know, man.
But
I don't know.
it's really about focusing your awareness on what you think.
Hmm. What were
Because
some of the things that you remember thinking during that time, man? Like being in that silence or
I
being in
remember
that space of quiet.
I remember going to a bank,
Mhm.
and this beautiful woman was was behind the counter.
Mhm.
And my thought was, forget this, talk to this woman. But I remember being aware of that thought. No, I'm committed to this. So I didn't speak. So what I learned most importantly, was my ability to be disciplined. And
Mm.
that's what the practice was all about. It was about, I commit to something, I have
Wow.
the discipline to stick to it.
Wow. Thank you for that, man. Damn. Mm. Chewing on that, coach. Thanks, bro.
Yeah,
What
I
are
would
your
have
thoughts?
I would have failed 2 hours later. I'd have been like, blah, 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 I gotta nah, but seriously though, bro, you know, the first thing that came to mind when you posed this question, P, was, you know, race relations in the United States, bro. You know, how I think influencing other people around me, even when, you know, I'm not actively doing something, you know.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I'm very sensitive to energetics, right? Like feeling in energies. And what I know is that my thoughts fuel my energy,
Mm.
right? And so a lot of times when I'm connecting to somebody or attempting to, and it's not working because I'm taking on the belief that, oh, this person's racist or this person is, you know, finished the sentence. It's 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 how, and I'll just use an I statement here. It's how I influence the world simply for thinking and believing in certain ways. So without even going really deep and in detail, just imagine you got white supremacy on one side and you got black people trying to get equality and equal rights and things like that. There's certain beliefs, right? Those beliefs have active roles in what we're thinking. Now imagine the ripple effect that goes out from just those two individuals, just those two groups of people. I mean, that's infinity, bro. That touches so much for so long. You
Yeah.
can't quantify that in one or two sentences or, you know, one or two experiences. It's too big, right?
Yeah.
And so the message or the thought that I'd like to leave for you is, you know, what I believe and what I think manifests every bit of reality that's around me, bro.
Yo, bro. Yeah. In many ways, man. It's like that the concept of as above, so below. What's happening inside is happening outside.
Yeah,
Best
but
believe.
every every thought, I believe, is filtered through the subconscious beliefs that we hold.
Coach, bring it to him, man.
So your subconscious beliefs is what drives how you think. For example, if you happen to be a racist, then you have a belief that somehow you're superior than other people. So
Okay, I
you have
got
a
you.
belief, I'm superior, I'm better than them. Well, guess how you're gonna think?
Right.
You're below me. I'm better than. So it's important that we do the work of discovering what our subconscious beliefs are. Because if we have a subconscious belief that, as men who happen to be black, that we're an endangered species, guess what we're going to be thinking?
Endangered species, yeah.
White man's holding me back. I can't succeed. Racism's keeping me from succeeding. It's all based on subconscious beliefs. But the thoughts, if we don't change the subconscious beliefs, we can't change the thoughts. We got to go down first, figure out what those beliefs are. and that's going to tell you how you think.
So really, the real version of how you think is how you're unconsciously or how you subconsciously thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Is at the root of the influence, is what I'm hearing.
And most of us are clueless because we haven't taken the time to examine what we believe.
That's right. That's right. And that's a space where both intentional and unintentional live.
Yep.
Right? They both live there in harmony together. In harmony. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, true, still true. Dang, man. You guys took it there, bro. Took it there. Man, we got one more, and then we're gonna wrap up. And the last one is, how do you adorn you? The last way that we influence others is how we adorn our body. When you read this or hear this, what comes to mind for you guys, man?
Oh,
damn! Jermaine got to jump in, bro.
Jermaine with his talking about his Versace suits and his Maybach.
Yes. I'm gonna tell you, bro. You know, man, this one piece for me hits the root of what Coach was just talking about, right?
Oh, wow.
What are those beliefs about me that are subconscious that I carry around? I don't know. You know, we call this shadow in our work, right? What's the shadow belief that I carry? That thing that I hide, repress, and deny about me, right? So in our community, and I'll speak, you know, from where I was born and raised and what we did, right? The way that we practice self-care and self-worth was to accumulate as much stuff as we possibly could get to adorn our body. Rings, rope chains, link chains, earrings, gold teeth. I mean, you know, Jordans, the Versace and True Religion, and all of these things, bro. I mean, bro, you name it. If it's something fashionable that's in fashion and people recognize it, even if they don't know me, that's feeding that part of me that says, I ain't worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not successful enough, I don't have enough money, people don't love me. I mean, it touches every piece of those things, bro. Right. And I once heard on a song, this is actually a rap record. Matter of fact, Jay-Z and Rick Ross. At the beginning, there's a man on the song doing a narrative. And he talks about the origins of why we love these things, right? Why we like these diamonds and this gold, and he talks about how it comes from tribal times, right? And it was really interesting to me because I never thought about, before slavery, before all of the crazy Jim Crow and all of this stuff that we've been dealing with this generational trauma, right? What was it like 6, 7, 8, 900 years ago, right? In Africa and other continents where Black people were indigenous, right? And I don't care how much I look at that, bro. We loved to adorn ourselves with a whole lot of things, bro. Just beautiful colors and jewels and natural elements and all of that. So there's something to it that's deeper than just, you know, the belief about me is I'm not worthy. It goes generationally deeper than that. There's a connection that we have to it that I'm not even sure in my lifetime I will fully understand, right? Because I also like I put this shirt on today, Brotherhood of Kings. When I put this shirt on this morning, bro, I was walking just a little bit. It was different. Because, you know, because in my head, somebody's going to look at that and go, ooh, he's a Brotherhood of King. Ooh, I'm trying to have influence over you, right? Intentionally, I want you to know that I'm woke, or that I'm intelligent, or that I'm doing my own work. Whatever it was, I got something from that, bro. And so how I adorn my body is mostly intentional. And then there's a piece of it that's unintentional. That's deeper than what I know about me today. right? This tribal connection thing that I probably will never understand, bro.
Got you, bro. Wow, bro. Jermaine, damn, thank you for that, man. Because you just brought me back to this image I saw of some African tribes now that wear very colorful garments. It was a post about how a lot of these colorful garments and imprints are actually been duped for some of the more fashionable items, which they're patterns that are very similar to what people are doing in Africa. It's like, yo, that is the same damn thing. But it's very interesting, and that's a resonant reflection there, bro. Because there is something about that where it's like, yo, I gotta shine. I'm gonna shine. And I know for me is one of the things. It's like I refrain, or I pause on really putting, like, making myself stand out, because I'm like resistant to the attention. So it's like I'm a hoodie guy, man. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, Like usually I'm like, yeah, what's up, everybody? Yep, yep. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, sometimes like, even though I love wearing suits, like sometimes I'll be uncomfortable because, like, I got to do the suit up with the nice tie combo with the pocket square, looking fresh. But I just would be resistant to getting that kind of attention. So I found myself over the years dumbing it down. So that's man, brother. Thank you, bro. Man, huge. Coach, what's your thoughts, man? That was deep. Thank you, Jermaine.
Yeah, I'll take it in a little different direction. You said how you adorn your body. Well, I adorn it not by putting anything on it, by simply being aware of the physicalness of my body. And so for many, many years, I hid behind an awesome body. It was like my way of getting people's approval, because I mean, I was pumped up, man. I was like, you remember Carl Weathers from Rocky?
Yeah, man. I remember you saying influence.
Yeah, when I saw Rocky and I saw Carl Weathers, I went out and bought me one of those concrete weight sets. You remember those cement weights?
Oh,
cement.
Whoa!
Had it in my bedroom, man. I started pumping iron when I was 17 after that movie came out. But see, at one point, there was so much shame that was my way of getting people to like me. Because I'm talking 7% body fat. I'm talking pecs and pumps and guns loaded, man. But I hid behind that for a long time. And it wasn't until I started doing this work that I realized that, no, I want to do it for my health. So I don't have to go in there and bench press 300 pounds, even though I still can at 63.
Yeah, coach.
but the point here is that how I carry myself, and when you see me physically, influences how you see me, because that guy's healthy. And that's the message that I want to send, especially for men of color. Because, Paul, you and I talked about the paradox that Black men, when you look at pro sports, I mean, we dominate in ways, and we are the epitome of the perfection of the human body. And yet we lead the nation in most health-related illnesses and death. That's a paradox I can't put my head around. As Black men, we have to take better care of ourselves.
True words.
So what I know is that by being fit at 63, because my goal is to live to be at least 100. That's my goal. With no canes, no medication, that's going to happen. So that's just me. So how I adorn my body, not with the stuff that I wear, but how I take care of it. And that's how I try to express me.
Brother, how you take care of it. That's huge. Because, and what I was also picking up is that the message that you want people, the message and the example that you want people to get from it. And like how Jermaine was saying, was like, this adornment, like I'm looking fresh, like, this is the way, right? This is how, I got this worth. It was for you, it was the body. So it's really cool and interesting, because your influence, how you treated your body, you're now looking at it as an influence to others, to how health can look as a Black male, especially as a Black male over 50, over 60. That's impressive, by the way. I saw how you slightly dropped that you bench pressing 300 pounds at 63. I saw it, Jermaine. You heard it too. That's why I was like, He was like, I can still do, by the way.
That's
I believe it, man.
That's my flex, baby. That's my flex.
Yeah. Flex on him, coach. Let him know, bro. Let him know. Yo, listen, this was tip top, man. I really appreciate having these conversations with you, brothers, man. I know we get on the phone, we talk shop, we talk business, and these types of conversations, especially that others can hear, I think is really important, man. So bless up to everybody that joined. Guys, any last thoughts before we wrap up about influence?
Yeah, I wanna acknowledge us and the influence that we're having on the world. Because we had 26 men in a room last Saturday. And we dropped some knowledge and some wisdom on these brothers that they're going to carry for a while.
Sure.
We impacted their lives in a positive way. And we came from a vision just a few years ago saying this is what we wanted to do. And we're doing it now. So we are influencing men around the globe. And I'm super proud of that.
Oh, shit, bro.
Bless up, man. Receiving that, man. Thank you, coach. Doing big things, man. Big things. Big things, man. Bless up, man. Jermaine, you have anything? Or you good, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. This was nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget to go see the One Love movie, Bob Marley. It's pretty good.
It is good. It is good. I thought it was good. I thought it was good messaging, man.
Yeah, I loved it.
Listen, and also remember to check out the Brotherhood. Check out www.Brothahood of Kings. Okay, now so you know. By the way, now we got the shop up. So check it out, man. Go to the website, check it out. Oh, what? You want to know what it looks like? Okay, got you. Listen, I'm going to share the screen so you see what this looks like. All right, you see how we rocking it with Brotherhood of Kings. Okay. Yep. So that's the website right there. Okay. So you go on the website for Men of Color. You can take a look on here, and then you find out about who we are. You can get onto our mailing list that goes out every Friday in the morning, let you know some new things to work on for the week. And then also, if you want to access the Zoom call that we have on Saturdays at 12 p.m., you can click on Access Zoom here. And we got a book out, damn it. So listen, for Men of Color, grab the book. A lot of things that we talk about for embracing Black men, for helping Black men embrace and embody authentic masculinity. So listen, tune in. And also, guess what? We got a shop up. I don't have the website up right now, but we got the shop up. I'll have that for you guys next time we dive in.
Oh, and thank you for reminding me. I didn't make that switch yet. Thank you for bringing that up.
Oh, shoot, man. See how that works? See how that works, man?
Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
You got it, man. Listen, you got it. So, guys, everyone watching, thank you for tuning in. People that made comments, thank you. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay, like, share, subscribe, because we're going to be putting out more content. So, you want to be get that bell ding. Oh, my goodness, Brotherhood of Kings, they're sharing some goodness. Okay, great. Now you can get on it, man. So, and also check us out on Instagram, the Brotherhood of Kings. And listen, man, thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, peace out.